Coming up, 2 local police officers will soon take certified training in how to properly install child restraint seats. And the 3rd Ferdinand Folk Festival is another huge success. These stories and more next on 18 News. Hello, I'm Mick Burge. Now that his department is at full force, Huntingburg Police Chief Art Parks plans to train a couple of his officers in the proper installation of child restraint seats. Jasper Police currently have 4 officers certified in the proper installation of these seats and usually has at least one of those officers on duty at all times. Parks says HPD gets about 5 requests a year for helping a resident install a child safety seat. Parks says this kind of training is new to his department.
We're trying to get something worked out. When it does come up, I'm going to send 2 officers to that class, and then after that point, when they come back, then I'm going to try to get something set up to where there's maybe a couple days in a month that we can actually work maybe with Jasper PD and Memorial Hospital, maybe have a place over here set up, a location where people can come and get their child seats put in right for them. If they think they're not put in right, we can go over it with them. If they just got one and need to, sometimes that the owner's manuals are a little bit confusing. So if we can help them with it, then we'll be available for that day, or they can come to the police department anytime. So hoping to work something like that out within at least maybe the end of this year or beginning of next year.
The Jasper Police Department has had officers certified for several years now. You'll hear more about the certified child restraint training coming up here in a moment with our Monday with the Mayor chat with Huntingburg Mayor Denny Spinner. In other news this evening, DuBois Strong announced today that Jim Dinkle has officially resigned from his position as president effective September 28th. In his statement, Dinkle explained that he will return home to Arizona to accept a position as executive director of Central Arizona Regional Economic Development Foundation. Now, we did catch up with Mr. Dinkle this afternoon, and he says he's pleased with what has been accomplished during his time here in DuBois County.
Well, it's been a real productive, I think, fruitful time. We rebranded the former DuBois County Area Development Corporation into what is now DuBois Strong. I think there have been a lot of accomplishments. I think the shovel-ready site designation at Huntingburg Airport was a giant step forward. In addition, the investment that DuBois Strong during that time made in the Interstate 67 corridor study. We're great advocates for that Interstate 67 going forward. The money now that we've invested in Buxton Analytics to promote retail, commercial, and industrial development in DuBois County, we hope will pay huge dividends in the near future going forward. Those are just a few things, but the rebranding will probably, just the name change into DuBois Strong will be something that maybe people will associate with my name in the next few years going forward.
Dinkle has served as president of DuBois Strong since April 2011. In his time with the group, the organization, formerly known as DuBois County Area Development Corporation, rebranded itself as DuBois Strong. They did so this past April. The 3rd Ferdinand Folk Festival was this Saturday at the town's beautiful 18th Street Park. The weather cooperated and a big crowd turned out for the event that is seeing larger crowds with each passing year. And that's something local officials are very pleased with.
We are absolutely thrilled with the number of people turning out. The music is phenomenal. You can sit back, relax, enjoy yourself. A lot of good things are happening here, and of course Mother Nature's worked with us immensely. We have a beautiful day and we're anticipating a lot more people showing up. The Folk Festival came about from part of our comprehensive plan that said that we had to build on the cultural aspect in and around Ferdinand. And we have some young people in town that got involved and said, hey, let's bring in folk music and things along those lines. And this is the result. You know, we as the town, as a town council president and the other 2 town council members, we got behind it to support it, but it's the young people in Ferdinand bringing, you know, people like this into town, the entertainers, and then look at the people behind me who are showing up, and we'll probably double this crowd yet tonight before we get started.
The primary goal of the festival is, you know, a lot of people might think of a music festival as just a good time and bringing vendors to town and food and listening to music, and that is what it's all about. I certainly don't want to downplay that aspect, but it's also about showing Ferdinand and Du Bois County as being a progressive, forward-thinking community, one that if people are looking at relocating within Du Bois County or to Du Bois County, that, hey, this is Ferdinand and we're doing some pretty cool, pretty progressive things. We've got great schools. Why not move here? So the ultimate goal is that, to show that we're a progressive and very forward-thinking community.
Now, Colin Hay, the former frontman for the 80s group Men at Work, once again headlined this year's Ferdinand Folk Festival musical lineup. The Jasper High School Marching Wildcats took home their first grand champion trophy of the season on Saturday. The band beat 15 others at the Pride of Paoli Invitational to win top honors. Now, this is actually video I shot this past Friday night during halftime of the Jasper-Lincoln football game. The band, of course, performing their show. At Paoli, Jasper outscored Floyd Central as well to top the two-band Class 4A group. The band also took home awards for Best Music, Best Visual Effect, Best General Effect, Best Percussion, and Best Drum Major. Meanwhile, the Heritage Hills High School Marching Patriots placed third of 6 bands in Class 2A at Paoli, while the Northeast Du Bois High School Marching Jeeps placed 6th in Class A. In Evansville on Saturday, Southridge High School's Marching Raiders placed first of 3 bands in Class A. At the Evansville Harrison Invitational, Southridge also won the Best Color Guard and Best Percussion awards. Congratulations to all. An execution date of December 11th has been set for Roy Lee Ward, who was convicted in the July 2021 rape and murder of 15-year-old Stacy Payne. The Indiana State Supreme Court scheduled the execution last week after denying Ward's petition for a rehearing in a post-conviction appeal. Now, Ward, who was from Leopold, was 29 years old when he murdered the Dale girl. He is now 40, and he's still seeking avenues to explore in the appeals process. He's incarcerated at Michigan City. He was first convicted and sentenced to death in 2002, but the Indiana Supreme Court reversed the conviction in 2004 because of pretrial publicity. Ward was retried, convicted, and again sentenced to death in 2007. His convictions and sentence have thus far been affirmed on appeal. Ward has additional avenues of appeal he could pursue on the federal level, and the warrant for execution just issued by the Indiana Supreme Court is subject to any stay issued by a federal court. All right, coming up, Huntingburg Mayor Danny Spinner joins me in studio for this week's edition of Monday with the Mayor. And later in sports, Kurt talks with Jasper golf coach Steve Milligan as the Jasper girls golf team takes sectional honors this past weekend.